Welcome, athletes, into the gym closet. We have another great episode today. If you are just joining us for the first time, the Gym Closet is a Krave Gym podcast, giving our athletes a deeper look into what we do at Krave Gym. In doing so, we give information and share our knowledge on fitness, business, and life. So thank you for stopping in. We have an excellent episode today. We interview Zach Frank, who is the volunteer coordinator with volunteer engagement team of Habitat for Humanity. It is an awesome interview. You guys are going to love it. We learn a lot about Habitat for Humanity, what to expect while we're volunteering, and we also get to show a little bit of stuff that I didn't even know Habitat for Humanity did, which is really, really cool stuff. So let's get right into that interview. Here is Zach Frank. I'd like to introduce special guest today, the volunteer coordinator with the volunteer engagement team, Zach Frank with the Habitat for Humanity. Welcome.
Hello, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, we love working with you guys. This is actually the second year that we've been involved with Habitat for Humanity with our Strength in Numbers season. So if you guys are listening for the first time and you don't know what we do, every season we have a new purpose partner. And for the Strength in Numbers season this year and last year, and for the foreseeable future every year, hopefully, we'll be working with Habitat for Humanity to do a bunch of different things. And this year is the first time that we've had the podcast to bring in representatives from these different organizations. And so Zach was kind enough to come in and explain a little bit more to our listeners and to all of our Krave athletes about what Habitat for Humanity is and why we are so excited to be working with the Habitat for Humanity. So welcome.
Thank you.
So kind of starting, obviously we have some of our builds coming up this weekend actually.
Yep.
And so we're super excited about those. What can our athletes expect if they're going to a build?
Sure, definitely. Well, I think the first thing to expect is a really good team building environment. I think a lot of people forget that they're there to serve, but they're also there to build relationships with one another. I think that's one of the things that makes Habitat unique, really, as a nonprofit organization. I've been able to kind of witness that on the front line as a volunteer coordinator, and also personally when I've had the opportunity as a staff member to go on site and work with groups of people who I maybe don't even know. But by the end of the day, you really do have kind of a deeper bond with people, which is pretty cool. So I'll start with that. I think
Awesome.
practically, going on site, we do start check-ins in the morning and orientations and introductions. So what that kind of involves is talking about Habitat, making sure everyone's familiar with actually what they're doing, how they're making an impact in Des Moines, and even introducing some of the families that they're going to be working alongside with. So that's really kind of exciting. I think it's another thing that's unique about Habitat is being able to actually engage and partner with the families that we serve. They are, as part of taking part in Habitat's programs, they do build on their house, someone else's home, or with Habitat in general in other areas. And so coming alongside volunteers, community members to actually make affordable housing a reality.
That's really cool, and that's one thing that I loved. I did a build last year, and terrible weather. But what was what was warming in that freezing in that freezing rain morning, the warm part of it was as we were laying sod and doing rock, and basically making. The cool part about it was the yard's finishing work, right? So then it really brings this from a construction site to a home.
Yeah. And
then working next to the family that was there or that was going to be living there was a really cool part of everything that we did. So with that, do you have any, you've had, let's see, I have a couple facts that I wrote down, but let's see.
For those of you listening, Tyler's handwriting is impossible to read. So that's terrible. That's why he's struggling.
So terrible.
Multiple times when we've done foodie, I've had to just make something up because I have no idea what he wrote down.
Right. He's like, I took a picture of his handwriting, but I can't read it. But no, I mean, it's huge with helping families and building the homes for these in need. So tell us, is there like a story of a certain family or a certain build that like sticks out to you personally?
Yeah, definitely. So I think probably the one that's closest and kind of nearest to my heart was actually before I started working with Habitat, was involved with Habitat for Humanity. The church I grew up with in Des Moines, there was a member there. Her name was Matilda, or is Matilda, and she is actually from Sudan originally. She is a refugee from Sudan. And her story is pretty incredible. Just kind of a brief overview. She grew up in Sudan and actually had to flee her village when she was 14 because of the wars going on there.
Really?
And her brothers and sisters actually were on the Nile River for 3 days on a raft that they built. So it's actually a miracle that they survived. She eventually made her way to Kenya before coming to the U.S. Really smart lady, really kind lady, but really struggled in the U.S. Not just language, but culture barriers, and also the fact that she could not find a job or earn a wage that would allow her to find safe and affordable housing.
Sure.
So she heard about Habitat through a friend, and eventually applied for our program, our home ownership program, which I can talk more about, and was accepted into that program.
Okay.
She purchased her home in 2010, and again, at that time, I was very involved with her. Didn't really know what Habitat did, but I could for sure see a difference in just how she could actually start enveloping people in her life, particularly in her home. Cooking was a huge one. I think a lot of these basic things that really allow families to thrive and really help us engage in our community, we take for granted when we're not struggling with affordable or safe housing.
Sure, yeah.
So cooking, I think, is one of those. She's, again, a phenomenal cook of everything, especially Kenyan food.
Sure.
But
did you get to sample some?
Oh yeah,
That's
awesome.
come on,
Every
awesome.
month, her and another. Oh yeah, I'm always all about Kenyan food.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah. But it was neat to see just how she could invite people into her life through that, cooking for them, inviting them into her home. Was really rewarding.
That's
so I think
awesome.
that's the most personal one that I have.
That's really cool, and to be able to eat that food is personal.
Oh yeah, yes. Yeah. I really taste the fruits of her labor,
Right,
and
exactly.
of Habitats
Right.
and communities. Yeah,
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Definitely.
So you had mentioned the affordable. What was it called? The
affordable housing,
housing,
our home ownership program.
Okay. Yep.
maybe
Yep.
is what- yep.
Let's talk a little bit more about that.
Sure, yeah. So that's kind of the main kind of flagship program of Habitat for Humanity, really what we're known for. And with that is the focus on low-income families that maybe couldn't typically afford or obtain a bank loan to purchase their own home. I think probably the biggest misconception about Habitat for Humanity, our name's out there, but a lot of people think we're a free housing program, and we're actually not. We don't provide free housing. Our families, we call them partner families because they actually come alongside to purchase their home affordably. So that's keeping them from being cost burdened. It's a mortgage that they can afford. And as they pay that back, that money funds another home for another family. So it's very cyclical,
Okay,
keeps the
sure.
money local in the community, and continues to help other families in need as well.
That's awesome. And so it's paying it forward as you guys kind of started. And so
Exactly.
I mean, so what is that? You said that's probably the biggest program that you guys do.
Yeah.
What are some of the other programs that you do, minus the Restore? Because we'll talk about the
Yes.
Restore.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're an athlete here, you know that we have a build. We actually are changing our second build to a workout with some of the corporate office people from Habitat for Humanity. So they're going to join us for a workout on the 20th. And then on the 27th, we have Restore volunteers. So other than Restore, because we'll get into that a little bit deeper, what are some of the other programs that Habitat for Humanity does?
Yeah, definitely. So the other one would be Rock the Block. So that's a home repair program.
Okay.
I actually see the shirt in front of
Yep.
me here.
Yep. Did you do it last year?
No.
Is that
this
where you got the shirt?
I think this
Okay.
is 2015 or 16. I
Sure.
can't remember
Okay,
when.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another
We had
program.
several athletes doing it last year as well.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was awesome. I think I probably met whoever was on site that
Yep.
time.
Yep. Yeah.
Which is great. So that's another program that really was formed to address. Habitat doesn't only want to move low-income families to homeownership and create stable communities that way, but also through those who already own their home but can't maybe physically or financially complete critical repairs on their home on their own.
Sure.
So we come alongside them to help provide physical labor in the form of volunteers or financial assistance to complete repairs that allow them to stay in their home, allow them to invest in their community. A lot of our homeowners have been there 20, 30 years.
Sure.
Can't now physically complete certain projects, and we really want to help them stay there.
That's awesome.
as
I'm
long
sure
as
you
they
guys
can.
bring a little bit of expertise with you guys too,
Yeah,
because that's
we
a
do.
huge thing.
Yes.
That I mean,
Yeah.
I could use that.
Yeah, exactly.
If a window goes out or something happens at my home, I'm googling and I'm
Yeah.
YouTubing how to do it. So
Right.
you guys come and save the day being
Well, and I'll
experts
tell
as
you
well.
what, I think, having done the Rock the Block, and I only did it the one time, and it was only for like 3 hours before I went into work.
Sure.
But the thing that I think to bring home is what you talked about in the beginning, is that it's not just doing this for a family, or it's not just doing this, but this like team building aspect that you get from it. I built this pair of stairs with a total group of strangers, and like here's the thing, like we didn't even get far, which makes you appreciate how hard it is to do that kind of thing. It was like 3 stairs high, but we put the whole thing in, and like by the end of it, you're like friends with these people. You're like, dude, thank you, yeah, all right, nail, hammer, all right, you know what I mean? Like you're working with them, you're getting it done, you know what's going on, you're helping them hold stuff. It was an incredible experience, and we only built 2 stairs.
Right? Yeah.
You know, it was like, what in the world? This is crazy.
That's what's really cool too, and I think, you know, if anybody out there is saying, okay, well, I'd really like to get involved, but I don't have any construction knowledge or expertise. You don't need anybody. You don't need any, and that's that. Go over that a little bit with, you know, who are your experts, and you know, how long have they been doing it, and how do they help someone feel more comfortable? Someone that's never hammered a nail in their life can come to these sites and learn so much, and be able to do a lot of these things, you know, in repairing their own home or helping at another time, just with the knowledge that they learn on these sites. So talk a little bit about the experts that you guys have.
Definitely, yeah. So we have right now we have on staff 5 construction managers.
Okay.
And a couple, another 2 rock the block managers, construction managers, and so they're all really well trained. Several of them come from the construction industry, so they have a background in that. A lot of them come through AmeriCorps program, which is something maybe a lot of people aren't super familiar with, but that is sort of like the Peace Corps for the U.S.
Okay.
And once they do terms, they actually learn a lot of skills through that from Habitat. And then a lot of them end up being hired through that. Really get caught by the mission and the vision we have. And really learn all those skills that they need. So in terms of working with volunteers or people who are unskilled, it's totally true. We actually have a saying that 90% of our volunteers have never swung a hammer before. And that's maybe a little bit of an exaggeration, but it's really not off the mark that much. I hadn't before I worked for Habitat. So, so our construction managers throughout the day do teach. They go over safety. They teach really specific skills to volunteers. It's pretty cool. I think it's worth mentioning a lot of our volunteers that are regular volunteers, we actually call core crew, and those are really invaluable men and women. These are individuals who are just taking time out of their own lives to come and help us, to use skills they either had or wanted to learn as part of Habitat. We provide trainings for regular volunteers, which is really great, to help them actually lead other volunteer groups. So really giving back. One of Habitat's, kind of our mission actually, a big part of it is by bringing people together to build homes, communities, and hope. So I think that's really a vital part. If you're not skilled, but you've got heart, we'll take you. We can use you.
That's
the families can use you.
I mean, that's awesome. I actually have that written down in my notes. You can't read it, but it's written. and so basically that, you know, that's your guys' motto. That's the number 1 on your website. And you know, and that's the reason that we are doing that in this season, is coming together for larger purposes, because you know, with a large group of people, you can accomplish a ton. Even if you have one person that is literally nailing a piece of wood, and someone else that's holding that piece of wood, and the next person, and the next person, and the next person, so on. And so it's such a big part of, you know, our team. And I've been huge kudos to our team this year. Last year was the first year we did it. So, you know, huge shout out to the people that did it last year. But this year, we've more than tripled our volunteers already from last year. And so it's an awesome turnout this year. Granted, we haven't actually done it yet. I have my eyes. Don't make me a liar when it comes to who actually shows up and does this. So
and the bad weather's Friday. It picks back up Saturday.
Good.
Saturday.
It's supposed to.
It's like 65. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna be all right.
Don't let the weather scare you off. I think a lot of people get intimidated by that, but you know, rain or shine, the homes are there, and
and they got to get put up on a schedule regardless. It's it's probably a different mindset that construction workers are in, where, you know, I got it. If I'm a construction worker and I'm building a house, I got to get this done. Whether it's whatever the weather's doing, you know. So I think that's a big thing to keep in mind too. There's always people out there working, so we can be one of them. Just bundle up a little bit. You know, I wore layers, and I was on a terrible day, but by 1 o'clock I was sweating, so I, you know, took off my 4th layer and my 2nd coat, and kept on going. So, but no, it'll be a great time. That I'm not sure. Do we know the specifics of that build on the 20th? Or on the 13th? This
yeah,
weekend?
so you guys will actually be working in our Pocket neighborhood, which I'm not sure if you worked on that last year. Tyler, I
don't believe so.
Okay.
I worked on, where was it? It was, all I know is I stopped at a train right at, and I was new to that area, but I stopped at a train right before I got there.
Yep.
I think the
It was
entire
Scott
crew.
Avenue, probably, or
Yeah.
Maury.
Yep. So the entire
that's
crew.
right by our building.
Yeah.
It might be, yeah.
Yep.
The entire crew was like, we were all getting there, and we all got there at like close to the same time to start the build.
Yeah.
And a train came, a long one, at that
Yeah.
same
Yep.
time. So we were all like 20 minutes late, and luckily, like nobody was there, so we weren't like answering to
Yeah.
somebody. But yeah. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be bad, but I didn't realize everyone was
Everyone's
behind.
good stuff.
Yep.
Oh,
Exactly.
Luckily, this time there are no trains in that
Perfect.
area, which
There
is
we go.
great. But a little bit about so our Pocket neighborhood is in the Birdland area. So this was an area on the northeast side of Des Moines that was really hit hard by the floods of 2008.
Okay.
So at the beginning of 2008, I should say, there were around 250 odd homes in that neighborhood. After the levee broke in 2008, there were 57.
Yeah.
Really?
So
Wow.
really decimated that community. Really hit it hard. That was close to Habitat's heart because we actually had our main offices there for many, many, many years.
Yeah. Sure.
And so that's been a focus for the last 3 years, or the last 2 years going into 2019. And that's where you guys will be. So that's
awesome.
By Pocket neighborhood, this area is an area of 23 homes that are facing each other with a bike trail going through. So again, that's kind of a first for Des Moines, and again, really
cool,
leading
yeah.
into our community aspect.
Definitely,
building
that's awesome.
community, having people engage outside their homes with one another is really pretty important and really cool to see.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It's like 6th Avenue, or like where exactly?
Sure.
I'm trying to imagine where it is.
Yeah, definitely. So this is Sailor Road. If you go, so Penn or East 6th, depending on which direction
Okay,
you're coming
yeah.
from,
Okay.
turns into Sailor,
Yeah.
and it's right off of there. So we've really worked a lot with the city of Des Moines. Again, this is a first for them, and was just a massive, massive vacant lot.
Yeah.
That we are now building all new construction in.
Okay.
So there's a couple
That's really
homes right
cool.
now. Yeah, one side of the street is all finished and all closed.
Yeah.
So those families actually have purchased their homes and are in their homes.
That's
So
awesome.
that's really neat.
So the way that works, now some of that money that their mortgage that they're paying for their mortgage
Yep.
is now getting flipped to new home builds. Is that correct? Is that
Yeah.
kind of how you guys do
Yep.
it, one way or the other? That's
Yeah.
probably a simplified way.
Yeah, no, that's
That's
hey,
all it
I was
Yep,
gonna-
that's all it
yeah,
is. No
that's it,
further
that's
math
all.
needed
Don't need
or
anything
any
else, right,
red
right.
tape
Real
at
easy,
all.
real
Right.
easy math.
Right, you're in a good company. I'm not an accountant,
The
but
concept,
yeah.
the concept is kind of how that
Yes,
works.
yeah. Oh, as a way to be sustainable, that's the original. How Habitat originally started was with this model.
Yeah. Okay,
Wait,
awesome.
how can we actually partner with the community, empower people, not put them in a situation they're not prepared for.
Right.
Sure.
Train them, and keep this money going. Keep it going, not just sitting, disappearing, going
Pay it
overseas,
forward,
anything
sure.
like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
So that is
So-
the basic.
So you can build, you can then rock the block is the second thing. Donations and anything like that. So
Sure.
if I'm local and say I'm a Krave athlete, I can't make it to any of the builds, but I'd really like to help out. What can we do as far as donations? We're going to be taking donations
Sure.
at the workout itself. So
Oh,
Krave will
awesome.
be donating, and then Krave always with all of our T-shirts. This is last year's with our new
Yeah.
ones. With all of that, we have a portion of those proceeds always go to our purpose partner.
Oh, great.
And so we've these ones sold awesome this year. So we'll have
Super
a
soft.
Yeah, they look like it.
they're
They look
so
very
nice,
nice
yeah.
t-shirts.
and so those a portion of those sales will go to Habitat for Humanity. But
Great.
where can somebody donate if they don't have time this time around, as far as just a cash donation?
Yeah, definitely. So, easy answer. You can always do that through our website. If you want to donate directly to a home build, home repair, or our financial education classes, which I can talk about in a little bit,
Yeah.
kind of a side
Sure.
unknown part of Habitat.
Nice.
But yeah, that would probably be the easiest. So our website is gdmhabitat.org, which stands for Greater Des Moines Habitat.org. So that would probably be there's a donate button that they can go to. In terms of raising other funds for Habitat, if anyone checks out the Restore, I know we'll talk about that
Yeah.
probably a little bit here. The Restores are really, really important parts of Habitat as an organization.
Sure.
So even going there, shopping there, looking through things, donating material goods to Habitat to resell to the public at a discount. All of that goes right back into our mission and is really, really foundational for what we do for our families.
Awesome. And that's, we'll go over a little bit because that's
Sure,
our
yeah,
last
maybe jumped the
opportunity.
gun,
Nope,
but-
that's good. That's good. So again, we'll go over that because that's our third opportunity to volunteer here this season. But you had mentioned the financial education classes. Go over that a little bit because that's interesting. I've never known or never heard of that from Habitat.
Yeah, definitely. So it's a relatively new program. Actually started in Greater Des Moines, in the Des Moines area with our affiliate. This was something we started 2 years ago to address a lot of the need that we were seeing. We've had a huge influx of people come to Habitat and apply for our homeownership program, but don't qualify either because they're too low income, we could never responsibly lend to them, or are in extreme debt, have never learned financial skills. I think finances is a skill, and if you don't learn it in school and if you don't come from a family background of knowing those things, you won't know them even as an adult.
Right.
So we really thought about how can we address some of these needs coming to us besides leading them into other organizations or trying to find other assistance. And kind of hit it directly. And so Financial Foundations for Success is how we did that. That program is really kind of unique in how it's structured. That's where they get one-on-one coaching with our staff to make specific goals within specific time frames and hopefully make those, of course. And then they also receive classroom education. We have some subset programs in there that we can help subsidize certain things. I don't know the accounting on that a whole lot.
Sure,
so don't have a ton of details on that.
I'm not a huge math guy
Yeah,
either,
that's
so
good.
we're good.
Yeah, but that is really kind of a cool program and really has hit a lot of people. We had 54 graduate from that in our last class.
That's awesome.
A couple classes ago, we actually had people that made such a big difference in their financial situation after going through that class that they reapplied for Habitat's homeownership program and now qualify.
Okay,
so that's
awesome.
real growth that we want to see happen.
That was kind of my next question is
Yep.
how many people do this, trying to qualify and try to get that education, and so you guys ultimately have a structure to help people qualify for that.
Yeah.
That's amazing to
Definitely.
see that and because ultimately you guys do enough. You could say, sorry, you didn't qualify. Unfortunately, we can't help you out there, and leave it at that.
Yeah.
But the fact that you guys have gone, and especially you said that this was in the Greater Des Moines that this kind of started.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
As far as I know,
Des Moines is awesome.
I know
Yeah,
Des
I was
Moines
just
is
gonna
great.
We do a lot of cool shit
we
here.
started
Yes.
our Rock the
Yes.
Block program
Yep.
was started in Des Moines.
Okay, awesome.
In 2010 or 2011. Financial Foundations for Success. This class I think is probably the only one, at least in the Midwest affiliates.
We're gonna go with it's the only one.
It's the only one, yeah, because
Yeah,
Des Moines
we'll stay
rocks,
with Des Moines,
and
great.
this is
Yes.
perfect segue, and
Yeah,
I love
definitely.
segues. So, because Des Moines rocks, they also have the number 3 restore in the nation.
Yep.
Is it still number 3? That's
It
what
is.
okay,
That's
awesome.
2018.
Okay,
Yep.
perfect.
Yeah.
So let's dive into that a little bit. That's
Definitely.
going to be the third thing that we do with Habitat here this season. So we have an opportunity to volunteer in that store, but tell us a little bit about what that store is.
Sure, yeah. So the essential function of the restores is to be a retail fundraiser for Habitat. So enable us to continue serving families and able to grow our capacity, especially with the huge affordable housing crisis that's going on.
Sure.
And the need that's always been there. So what we essentially kind of how it works is we take donated building materials that otherwise would go to a landfill most likely,
Sure.
sell them at a discount to the public. So it's a discount home improvement store. And all those funds run right back into Habitat for Humanity, each local affiliate as well.
Awesome, okay.
So the funds raised from the 2 metro area restores in Des Moines go back to the families we're serving in the Greater Des Moines
In the
area.
Greater Des Moines.
Mhm.
Okay, awesome. And so what can our athletes expect if they've volunteered for the Restore volunteer event?
Yeah, definitely. So that's going to be helping with store operations. So what that can look like, there's kind of 2 main areas volunteers really support the store. The first one is in our donations and receiving area. So actually helping process donations. So that's cleaning donations, organizing them, make sure that the pieces are all there. That's a really big one because we divert tens of thousands of tons of material. That
Sure.
maybe is an exaggeration. Let me try that again. We
Tens of thousands
of
items.
tons. Yeah,
Oh, there we go,
There
there we go.
tens of
Yeah.
thousands of items.
100,000, maybe a million.
Right.
tons. We might have had a million.
Might
tons.
as well.
Yeah.
Across the resource in
really
the
go
US for
above.
sure.
Right.
In
Yeah.
Des Moines,
Yeah.
not quite that much, but
Good save.
just a lot. We couldn't really operate. It would be way too much for
Sure.
our staff.
And
to
that's just
handle.
the manual labor
And
of
that's just
getting these items.
Yep.
from one place to another, or cleaning them and that kind of stuff.
Getting them prepared for sale, really.
Sure.
The second place is actually on our sales floor. So actually organizing aisles, creating displays. A lot of people think that's really fun, actually. If you have an organizational bend you love the front of our stores. We're always looking for help with that.
A little OCD-esque.
Yeah, exactly.
If that's your jam, then you can get all of that out on one day.
Right.
Just organizing
the
products.
hardware aisle. You'll be golden.
Exactly. I love it.
So that's really a big need right there.
Okay. Awesome. And that's a really fun. That's indoors.
Yes.
Most of the time,
That
right?
is always a plus.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we don't even have to worry
by
about.
the 27th, we might want to be outdoors.
Right.
Exactly. Well, you'd never know, because we'll probably
This
get
is
pounded.
Iowa.
We'll probably
be
get pounded by
snowing.
another. We have a. I heard on the news today. Next week we may have like one of those cyclone bombs or whatever.
Oh, nice.
What-
Keeping it
I don't know what that is
Yeah.
exactly, but
Doesn't
she
sound good.
said it, and there was a lot of color on the screen. So whatever that
Very
means,
exciting.
yes,
Yeah.
whatever that means that we could get a cyclone and a snowstorm blizzard or
Good,
something like
good.
that. I don't know.
All at once.
Yep.
Good.
And it'll probably still be like 60 degrees, and we'll
Good.
drop in a matter of
Our
minutes.
stores will
Good,
be
good,
open and
good,
we'll need you.
Yep, exactly.
There we
And
go.
this will be indoors.
Yep.
So then
Yeah,
we
exactly.
can do that.
Yep.
So that is awesome. I think one reason that we work with, and I'll go on to say this, as far as organization and what you guys provide us as volunteers is really huge, and you guys do a great job. So anybody that's in the volunteer market, if you take a couple notes from Habitat for Humanity, they do a great job of just giving us an easy path to volunteer. One, like he said, jump on the website and you can do whatever you want. But even as an organization that we work with them, they give us some of these private links so that all of our athletes have a link that you can just push. So I know that we have the 13th. I think that we're probably full on that one, but we do have both. We have that link, and then we also have the link for the Restore on the 27th. We have that link up and on our social media as well. And so it's really easy. You can hit that link, hit volunteer, fill out a couple forms, and you're good to go, because a lot of the difficulty and the reason why we even do these purpose partners is we found early on with doing some of these things, and we wanted to do as much as we could in the community. And when we did that, we got such a really good response from our athletes that were like, you know what, I really love this. I told myself for the last 5 years that I was going to try to do things, but I just got busy. I didn't know where to reach out. I didn't know who to volunteer for. I didn't know how to get the process started. I didn't know what to do at all. Yeah. And so we try to give that opportunity to our athletes and make it very, very simple. You guys go above and beyond and make it very simple for us. So I thank you so much for that. Yeah, because then the logistics of all of that is a reason I think a lot of people don't volunteer for certain organizations and stuff. And you guys do a great job of making it easy, making it a simple click, step-by-step type of thing with obviously utilizing the technology that we have and doing that kind of stuff. So huge shout out to you guys on that.
Thank you. Yeah, I think to get people connected to serve others in their community, that's the whole goal, right? So I think anything we can do to make that easier, we always love people to provide feedback to us just to help us grow.
Yeah.
There's real people that we're impacting through the Restore, through the construction sites, through home repairs, through education. And so we really appreciate everyone wanting to do that.
Definitely. And we appreciate you guys and everything that you do. We're super excited to work with you. Again, we have 3 different opportunities. The first is this weekend on the 13th. I do believe that that's full, but just in case anybody drops out, keep clicking on the link, and if it lets you in, it lets you in, and then you can show up and you can build with us. The second one is going to be a donation opportunity and an opportunity to work out with the people that are on the ground floor of Habitat for Humanity and work in both the Restore and the corporate office, or the 2. How many offices do you guys have here in Des Moines?
Sure, yeah. So we have 1 main office.
Okay.
2 Restores.
Okay,
Yep.
awesome.
Yep.
So those 3 employees with those 3 will be with us on Saturday the 20th, working out at 9 a.m. So we're going to do a team building workout with you guys and ourselves. So that'll be a really great opportunity to get together and show you what we do a little bit, you know.
Yep,
And then the third one is in the Restore, and Zach went over everything to expect with that, but that is also on the link, and that is on the 27th. So what time does the Restore usually start? Is there certain hours?
Yeah, definitely. So the Restores are open 9 to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. I think we have you guys for starting at 9.
Awesome.
On the 27th.
Perfect. So yeah, so start at 9, and then we will be volunteering in the Restore Urbandale on the 27th at 9 o'clock. So when we finishing up here, thank you so much, obviously, for coming in and joining us and telling us a little bit more about Habitat. And is there anything else that you'd like to add, or anything that you'd like to talk about as far as the organization, or really anything?
Sure. I mean, I can go on forever.
I love it. I think
my record is an hour and a half, but I won't put you guys through that.
Awesome.
So
that's okay.
I think just the biggest thing is just a thank you to everyone who is interested in actually doing this. I think I was talking with another coordinator at actually the Evelyn K. Davis Center earlier today on a lot of the challenges with housing, but all over. It's complicated issues that we're facing with a lot of low-income families that are struggling, and it takes everyone to really impact and make a difference, and for everyone's betterment as well, just how tied in we all are with each other. It's a little bit removed sometimes, we don't see it, but it is real and valuable. So
there's strength in numbers.
Exactly. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
You like what we did there?
Right.
I do it at least once every time we're with our purpose partners.
Yep.
I'm going to throw that in
That's
at least
great.
once.
Well, it's true. So thank you for what you guys do as well, and just bringing everyone together and doing your part that way as well.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much again, guys. That is Zach Frank. He is the volunteer coordinator with the Habitat for Humanity and the volunteer engagement team. So thank you so much for joining us. If you do have any questions, jump online. I got all of my research that you can't read because of my handwriting so bad, but I got all of that research from their website. So they have a ton of information on there. They do a great job. They make it really easy to volunteer, so jump on there. And if you have any questions about what we're doing at Krave, you can jump into any of our sessions, talk to any of our coaches. All of our coaches and head coaches know exactly what we're doing with the Habitat for Humanity this season. So we're super excited to get everything going, and that is just starting here this weekend. So we got we're backloaded a little bit with this season. It's the last 3 weeks of the season, and we have 3 volunteer opportunities right in a row. So it makes it super easy for everybody. But again, thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.